the most brilliant people use not more than 10 to 15% of their brain capacity. You can imagine. So 90 or 80% of the capacity is unutilized. However, people who are at the very on a prescriptive model use only maybe 2% or 1% of their this 99% they follow the prescriptive rules. Now there is another school of thoughts called rational theory. Now you use your mind, apply whether it's right or wrong for you. You whether, for example, if your office is about 70 kilometers away from your home, you have a choices either you commute by train every day and come back home tired, your productive energy is completely consumed in the process of commutation. So you need to find out, can I stay closer to my office, although it's expensive, but your efficiency, your productivity, you can do parallel things. But people take a very penny wise pound foolish decisions, and they don't want to spend money, but they don't know what they're losing in the process. Sometimes necessary investment is important, and which will give you benefit enormously, but you look as a prescriptive model, save your money. Now that's a prescription. Saving money is important, but saving money does not mean that you do not invest in the essential activities of your life, because it has a long term. For example, you want to learn music, you will not become a musician overnight. You will have to sit down with the teacher, he will teach you music. You will have to practice, you have to buy a harmonium, you have to buy tabla, you have to buy instruments, and maybe in 5 years or 6 years times you will become such a great singer that you will start minting millions of rupees. Because but if you avoid spending that 4,000 or 3,000 rupees which you can afford, I'm not saying that you have to beg, borrow, steal, but if you can afford and you say no, my parents or my society says believe in saving money, so you might save, but look at the loss which you have suffered as a result of saving money. Everybody will kudos you that you are a ideal child. You don't believe in spending money. Buying books, for example, you need to buy books. You need to have a good computer. You need to have a good calculator. So you have to invest money. You have to go to the good schools. That's also equally important. Now you have to have a good body. For that you need to join the gym. Now if you don't join the gym, you will never have a good body. So it's important that you spend that money, but look at the long term benefits you will reap. So as you sow, so you reap. So if you don't, so I'm saying that saving money is important, but the rational model says that you need to spend money which is required, but you guys avoid that, and as a result, or maybe you divert that fund into some unproductive assets. For example, buying phones which the latest model which you can easily help with the minimal communication, because that's not your priority at this time. Your priority is to build up your career, your future, take charge of the life. Otherwise you will keep regretting and you will say I'm very unlucky. You will keep blaming external circumstances that I have not been given the resources at the time. I needed a motorcycle for myself, I needed a car for myself, I needed a mobile phone, Apple phone, so or clothes or fashionable accessories. So you will waste that resource, and which you consider essential. The problem is there is a very startling distinction between essential expenses and non-essential expenses. I'm only talking about in the context of you have a limited resources available. So you have to allocate your resources so judiciously, and you have to take a call that every penny you spend gives you a rich dividends in the future. That's an important factor. So rational theory will bring you into that area of thoughts, in that domain of thoughts where you will spend money which is required for your vertical projection. Similarly, like you get into job, you get married, you have a children. Now another point is a marriage. I'm talking purely in Indian context. Indian marriages are very expensive, And people, I think, display their strength socially by spending huge amount of money on the weddings, the weddings, crores and crores. I'm talking about the very rich people. Actually, I have a very serious disagreement that marriages have become like a chimney of burning your earned wealth in 3 days. People have spent anywhere hundreds of crores of rupees on organizing 3 days extravaganza. But anyway, that's our social deeply rooted. But this one thought of your children getting married and spending money, can you imagine the kind of pressure it builds up on you? And what I'm saying is 90% of ailments in the world today are caused by this stress. And anything which you do and will breed stress. Osho's another story which I want to share with you. But later on, the second one I'll share with you. It's a very interesting story how people develop the self imposed prison, and it's like a cage where you cannot fly out of it. You have to remain within that cage. You have to see your world within that. But the bird without flying is incomplete. So most of the people are becoming captive of a faulty life designing strategies. Now, if you design your strategies properly, looking at the way context is changing, look at the way today thought process undergone change, look at the way the futuristic employment opportunities have undergone a paradigm shift. For example, if today's children are not focusing on the futuristic knowledge, then they'll become obsolete. Artificial intelligence is one of them, nanotechnology, space technology. The disruption is going to hit all of us very hard. Nobody knew Corona will hit the entire world. The literally nature has punished the humanity and put you behind your bar, I must say, like you were jailed for a couple of years in your own home. So this is what, because our humanity is also not designing the strategy correctly, which is aligned to the nature, which is aligned to the current realities of life. People are still squandering the good resources. Water resources are getting depleted. The water table is going down. People are building a huge mansion and houses, encroaching upon into others' land, exploitation which is involved into it. You want to have like battery of cars, and consumerism is one of the major factors which is basically breeding a very serious social and economic complications. And then politics on the top of it, the system is going corrupt because it's like the corruption is inevitable. And because you have so many aspirations in life, you have limited resources, so you want to continue to others entitlement. So what is happening is you are becoming a mess, as a matter of fact. So we need to have life design strategy not only for the people but for the systems also. I will give you my next lecture how the system need to go for a right system designing strategy. It's a complicated lecture, but I will certainly share with you. So friends, I only want to share with you, take every step in your life very carefully with the self-awareness, analyze the consequences of your action. Analyze, give a pause before what you're doing next time. Give a pause, rationalize, think, introspect, and take a decision which is relevant. I'm not saying becoming rebel, but I'm only saying is become very, very emotional human being, and rationality is in your control. It is saying the most uncommon thing is common sense. So develop a good common sense, and it is possible provided you apply your mind. Either you follow prescriptive model 100% or you switch over to rational model. So friends, from today onwards, you will do life designing strategies. You will build life designing strategies. If need, You can always come to me. I'll mentor you. You can discuss with me any issues in life, emotional, cultural, anything, as long as you have the serious inclination to implement my advices. I'm sure you will see the benefits are tangible. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.